Good evening, everyone. So this is the fourth time that I've done this tonight. I'm a bit exhausted, but I'm gonna keep going. And hopefully this one works. For some reason, it's not letting me upload on Brightspace, and I'm not exactly sure why. But whatever, I'm moving on. So here we are again. So if I go a little faster than I should, it's probably because I've said this 3 times before. But I'm gonna try to be mindful of that. So the first question is, what information about the biological nature of substance use disease challenged you, surprised you, or reinforced your current understanding? And something that surprised me was that babies born with substance use disease can have withdrawals up to 3 months. I had no idea about that. I actually don't know much about substance use disease and pregnancy, and this video kind of made me aware of that, and that I should probably have maybe a class offered on that within my substance use education classes, because that is really important. For both males and females to know, in my eyes, because when males also are involved in pregnancy, even though they're not the ones carrying the baby, they could help educate the women who are carrying the baby if they're using substances. So the next one is, what information about the psychological nature of substance use disease challenged you, surprised you, or reinforced your current understanding? And something that reinforced my current understanding was the brain scans. I really liked the way this video provided the brain scan images and spoke about them, and the way that they describe them and how they describe them. I think that was really black and white, and it was really good how they did it. I really enjoyed it. The next question is, what information about the social nature of substance use disease challenged you, surprised you, or reinforced your current understanding? And something again that surprised me is the rise in HIV and hepatitis C. I wasn't aware of that, and I don't have that in one of my educational classes, and that is something that I think I need to educate myself on and teach others about that, because it's really important. The next question is, what are your responses to the harm reduction philosophy? That's my response. I think it is so important. Harm reduction is so important, and I'm totally down for it. I think it's a way to, especially with like the Overdose Prevention Society and injection sites, where the video said that the substance use disorder person can come, the person with substance use disorder can come in and make connections. And that's exactly what is needed right now. And especially for them, it's like they need connections. They need healthy connections. They need to know that they're cared about. They need to feel that they're cared about. And if they go to the same site over and over and over again, and they see the same face still there every time, supporting them, talking to them, showing them that they care, and and compassion and kindness is what I'm trying to say. And that they care, and they show that through compassion and kindness, is really important, and that can kind of make somebody really feel good and feel self-worth and feel worthy, and that's really important. So I think harm reduction sites are a great idea. I think clean needle, the clean needle idea is also really important, just because, like I said before, the HIV and the hepatitis C is on the rise. So I think the clean needle exchange is a wonderful idea. Somebody with substance use disease is going to use anyway. So if we can help them use and use safely, I think that is the way to do it. I think these harm reduction sites are wonderful, because it's meeting the person where they're at. So if they're coming to it and you're already there, or somebody with this kind of education and counseling or whatnot's already there, it's going to help them and increase the chances of them moving forward with their recovery. And I think that is really important. And connections are healthy connections are what's really important in recovery, because most people with substance use disease don't have healthy connections. If they had healthy connections, they probably would have reached out to them instead of reaching out to heroin. But since they don't have those healthy connections, they have like dysfunctional family connections, codependency connections, underlying trauma, which is serious. So those are the kinds of reasons that we use. And if we had somebody to make a connection with them, that would help them in their process and their path in recovery. I also think a good idea would be to pass out Narcan. I think that it's a great idea if everyone leaving a jail would be provided with Narcan before they left the jail, upon release, I guess you would say. I think that's really important. My jail does not do that, and I wish that they did, because somebody with substance use disease, like you saw in the video, it's a brain disease, and it's a strong brain disease, and it can, all of a sudden you're here and then all of a sudden you're gone. So if they get out of jail and they get really excited because they're out of jail and they go and use right away, and then all of a sudden they don't feel something, or it's not enough, especially right away, they instant gratification, if it's not there, then they're going to use more, and they think that they can continue to use the same amount that they used to use before they went to jail. But if they went to jail for 6 months, they can't use that same amount. So they overdose. And so I think that Narcan being passed out to places where people with substance use disorders hang out and socialize. I think really making it a community-based thing where we all know what to do if somebody is overdosing in front of us. I think it's important for us to know that it's all about helping others. I think education with law enforcement. I think educating law enforcement. I think educating correctional officers about substance use disease, and even attorneys and lawyers. I think that we all need to learn about, even the community, period. Like everyone needs to learn, or maybe could really use a little bit of education about this, because it really affects us all as a whole. So if we all knew a little bit more about it and educated ourselves, I think that that would move society forward, and maybe change what's going on right now. Another way I think that we could change it would be by using better language, like medical language around substance use disease. That's why I keep saying it. It's usually SUD, but I mean, I just keep saying it because if I keep saying it, I'm going to remember to keep saying it, and I'm trying to train myself to keep saying it. So I don't say substance abuser. I don't say substance abuse. I say substance use. That's how I do it. And if you want to change your language too, that's awesome. I have a PowerPoint I can share with you, or you could just go right onto Google and Google stigmatizing language, substance use disease language, and see what you come up with there. It's really interesting. And it will take the shame and the guilt off the person, and kind of that yucky feeling with that language. We all know that language, some words hurt. So, and we know that. So if we know that, then let's change our language to not make someone hurt and not make anyone feel any type of way about themselves, to more moving them forward and understanding that this is a disease. How can I get you from where you're at now to where you need to be? And stop focusing on how they got to where they're at now, because that doesn't make any sense. That's not going to do anything if we focus on that. Like, yeah, they're using, but if we focus on right now and moving them forward, that's where we're going to get more progress and more positive, positive stuff with recovery, is if we focus on what's going on now to how they're going to get better, instead of focusing on, well, this was their choice. How did they get here? Why did they use in the first place? But that's a great question. Why do you start to use? Usually people start to use substances because they don't want to be here. They don't want to feel whatever they're feeling. And their coping skill is to use substances instead of talk about it. And because they don't know that they're supposed to talk about it, because they've lived and grown up in dysfunctional families, codependency families. So they don't even really know how to talk about it or how to talk about what's going on in here. So and they probably have never seen anyone talk about it too. They probably saw their parents just shut down or use substances and move on. So that's kind of what they do. So I think it's all about educating everyone, including the person with substance use disease, and allowing them to understand that this is a disease, a medical disease, and we all need help. We're all in this world trying to survive. And if we could just all be in this world and try to survive together in harmony, it would be that much better. All right, I hope this video works. I hope it uploads. I'm really tired. I might not be able to get through another one. But thank you for watching. Good night.